and he's given us some information in reference to the Great Debate. Professor AAl-Hadid, let's see if we can pick up where we left off during the first segment and have you to start talking about the Great Debate itself.
I like to put the Great Debate in some historical context. I see it in three stages. One is what I would call the archetypical Great Debate, and that was the tension between those leaders, primarily who were doing slavery, who wanted to repatriate back to Africa, and then another group of people who wanted to assimilate into American society. So out of those who wanted to repatriate, you got the establishment of the country of Liberia on about the time of the Civil War. And for those that wanted to repatriate after the American Revolution, you got the establishment of Sierra Leone. So there were actually two colonies established from ex-slaves from America, Sierra Leone during the period of the American Revolution, and then you had Liberia during the period of the Civil War. And you had other people who felt that they didn't leave anything in Africa, didn't want to go back. So they would say, as soon as we're free, we're going to assimilate into America. Well, when slavery ended in 1865, there was the illusion of assimilation, but the reality of Jim Crow. So out of that dialectic came another great debate, and that great debate was between what we might call separation and integration. And you had people who wanted to take those positions. And this one I would call the prototypical great debate. And that was the great debate between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois.
Most of us know that debate.
That's the most familiar one. Du Bois was, and they both dealt with educational institutions. Du Bois pushed a liberal arts agenda for the private schools, because he was a graduate of Fisk University. And Booker T. Washington pushed more or less an agenda of self-determination, lifting yourself up by your own bootstraps. And he developed it based on the A&I model, agricultural and industrial. So out of that out of his vision came a lot of your land grant schools like Tennessee State University, Arkansas A&M, Florida A&M, and so forth. So Booker T. Washington's philosophy was more of a land grant philosophy, where development was based on the land and agriculture, and Du Bois's philosophy was more liberal arts. And so he wanted people to become scholars, intellectuals, and study the classics. And so they clashed, you know, and Du Bois is probably best known for his role in being one of the founders of NAACP, and then later on being a person who created the early